Good morning. It's Thursday, July 23rd. I'm Alden Pearson. I'm an attorney. I practice primarily in construction law in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Yesterday afternoon, the governor of Minnesota, Walz, issued a mask mandate. And the mask mandate affects businesses in Minnesota. It affects public places. And I want to discuss the mandate as it relates to businesses and in particular construction in Minnesota. The mandate goes into effect this Saturday, July 25th, and the mandate requires masks for all indoor business places and outdoor business activities where 6 feet social distancing cannot occur. Vehicles that are used for business purposes with 2 or more occupants must have the occupants masked. The mask must cover the mouth and the nose, and you cannot have valves on the mask. Now, I've seen on the internet a lot of masks where they have the valves here. They look pretty cool as far as masks go, but those are not compliant under this order. It has to be a full face covering without valves. And the justification is that the valves prevent airflow inward, but do not prevent airflow outward. And the idea with the mask mandate is to create a two-way barrier, both in and out, but more particularly out than in. In construction, in particular, you want to think about your office locations where your workers are there going to have to be masked. Your visitors and guests and customers that come in are going to have to be masked. Your job trailers, again, with 2 or more occupants, the occupants are going to have to wear masks. Your customer properties. If you're doing outside work, again, 6 feet social distancing cannot be maintained. Masks must be worn. But if you're going inside customer properties, your workers are going to need to and are going to be required to wear masks. I already mentioned the work vehicles, but coming and going from job sites, and then the vehicles on job sites such as skid loaders, diggers, that sort of thing. If there's more than one worker in the vehicle, they're going to need to wear masks. And then outside at work sites, if social distancing cannot be done, then masks have to be worn. Now, businesses are required to police the requirement. And what that means is that the businesses are going to have to make sure that their workers, their customers, their visitors are wearing these masks, but they cannot force compliance. They just are going to be persuasive in that, but they are required to police it. So if people aren't willing to wear the masks, doesn't say it in the order, but based on the order and the tenor of it, you're going to need to ask them to leave. Now, if somebody indicates that they have a physical or medical condition that prevents them from wearing a mask, they don't have to wear them. But you cannot request proof from them. You just have to take their word for it. And you cannot retaliate against your workers for refusing to wear masks or not complying with with these rules. The penalties are fairly significant. The penalties include licensing actions from the Department of Labor and Industry, broadened actions beyond licensing from the Department of Labor and Industry, which I'll discuss in a minute, and in individual and business penalties. The individual penalty is pretty minor, $100 per violation and a petty misdemeanor. But business penalties are a little bit more severe, $1,000 per violation and a misdemeanor up to 90 days in jail. Now, these are all up to, it doesn't mean it's $1,000, it's up to $1,000, it's up to $100, it's up to 90 days in jail. But the more significant one is a county attorney or the attorney general can go after a business and seek an injunction to force the business to comply with this order or to force the business to stop non-compliant activities. And that can be up to a $25,000 civil penalty per violation. Now, the most significant issue is that Labor and Industry, DLI, has been tasked with enforcing this order. And the department, whether you're licensed or not, can close a business. they can enforce compliance with this rule. And for licensed businesses, they can suspend or revoke your license or fine you up to $10,000 per violation under your licensing statute. And so there is some significant enforcement requirements here. The order itself is 15 pages long, so I guess the governor is fairly serious when he came out with this order. You do have to update your COVID-19 preparedness and response plans. All businesses in Minnesota, including construction companies, are required to have such plans. And if anyone wants me to assist with preparing such plans, I've prepared more than 50 of them so far for construction companies, and I've prepared them for other companies as well. And if anyone has any general questions or anything regarding all of these COVID-19 emergency orders, I'm happy to entertain those questions. My website is aldenpearson.com, and these resources are found under my COVID-19 resources for construction. And my website also contains my other contact information to the extent you want to get in touch with me. Again, this order goes into effect on Saturday in a couple of days, and so there is not much time to get ready for compliance with this. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time today.